Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your favorite podcast, Stop the Internet Podcast. I'm Kelee.
I'm Jimmy.
We're talking about weddings
Oof.
today. I feel like every episode typically turns into a wedding episode recently.
Mm-hmm.
But since your last time here, we've introduced the gavel. Do you want to man the gavel today?
Do you want me to?
Kind of.
I'd be honored.
Rebecca loves it.
Okay.
Loves it.
Loves it. I can't believe it says your name on it. Okay.
Yes. Wait, did you hear the story that what it was from?
No.
I did mock trial in high school. It was my favorite club to do.
Mm-hmm.
And if you did mock trial 3 or more years in high school, you got an engraved gavel at the end of senior year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's some Judge Judy shit.
I know. I wanted to be a lawyer. I was debating going to law school.
Wow. That's awesome. I didn't know that.
I'm really bad at studying, though, so I didn't.
I'm a bad reader. You got to read a lot, right?
You have to read so much, and I just am so bad at studying. But I feel like now I could probably do it, so I kind of just want to try it.
I think those days are over for me. I think I've gotten worse with learning.
I kind of want to be like Kim K.
Yeah,
go
me
back
too.
and do it later in life.
I'm rooting for you, Kim.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So cool.
I really am.
Yeah. I have a fact I can share,
Ooh.
and then you can do a fact too.
Okay.
Okay. This is just relevant to what we were talking about. That's why I stole the conversation.
Yeah.
So my friend and I were talking about business audits and college. We're like, oh, remember when we had to do SWOT analyses and business audits in class? And we were like, we should just do one for fun. Why not? And then we're like, oh, we should just see if we can take what is the test to get into business school? Or it's to be, maybe there's not one for business school. I forget. But we were joking around and we were like, oh, we should just take the MCATs for fun. And we were like, we should take the bar and see if we could collectively, without studying, be a lawyer. And obviously the answer is no. So I respect lawyers. I know it's not easy. But we were like, oh, we should just read questions on the bar and see what it's like. So then we just Googled bar test prep hero and we just started answering the questions, and it's so fun. And so we'll hang out sometimes and we'll be like, want to answer some bar questions? And we just go through bartestprephero.com and just read the questions and answer them. But it takes us 20 minutes per question. And when you actually take the test, you have a couple minutes per question.
Right, you're moving, it's time or whatever.
But
we
the
should
more
do
we
an
do
episode like that.
Should we?
And
That would be
where
so
you
fun.
read the question, you have to answer it, and you really need to provide evidence.
Yes.
I believe this is the answer because.
Yeah.
And you really have to make the case.
Yeah.
I love to argue. So.
Oh my God, we should do this. We should
Yeah.
do it for a YouTube video or a bonus episode or something.
I'm in.
Amazing. It's so fun. Just reading the questions. There's some that it's so interesting because it'll be a business owner created $75,000 worth of custom goods for this customer, and then the customer canceled their order. And it's okay, well, why did they say $75,000? That has to be a legal limit for something.
Right.
And it usually is.
Mm-hmm.
So that question was oh, the business owner is at fault, or I forget. But it's interesting to take the evidence in each question and be okay, well, why is that included? Because it has to be important, especially if it's specific numbers or specific states, or a business owner started a business in New Jersey and then they did business in Pennsylvania, but their legal or their business license is registered in New Jersey. So interesting. And the more that we
taxes and everything. Yeah.
The more we do, the more we get right too. And I learned so much. I'm that's amazing.
Okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
and I feel that's
it.
why lawyers are so good at analyzing things on the go. And we could have a conversation and they could take so much more from it than I would.
Yeah.
Because they just pick up on all those key details that then they would use to build their argument one way or the other.
So true.
With statutes or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I dated a guy that was in law school. That's the closest I got to law. I also wanted to be a lawyer though.
It would be so fun.
I did. I really wanted to be a lawyer. Well, I would love to be in politics eventually. So that's why that was what my thinking was. But then I was well, there's a lot of lawyers that are politicians. Let's take another route.
Well, it helps because my friend who I do this with, they are in politics. And that person said that a lot of the people that they work with are also lawyers. Not practicing lawyers, but they did law school and passed the bar because it only helps you. You're the person making laws. So it would only help you to completely understand the laws of your state.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to be like, a total fraud.
Yeah.
And not know anything.
Well, they do go to like political science school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like wild stuff going on right now.
I know.
I don't know. Well, this might be the one and only time I get to use the gavel, so.
No, I don't think so.
No?
Well, wait, do you mean this episode or this podcast?
Just in general. Like, I never get to use the gavel.
I think we can use it whenever.
Next time you let me use it too?
Yeah.
Well, no, next time will have to be your turn.
No, it's okay. We can share.
You have to delegate the authority.
Yeah, okay. I mean, we can take turns. Or you can just do it.
Okay.
I get to hold it whenever I want because it's in my house.
True, it does have your name on it.
It does, yeah. So remember that. What it says is law,
Period.
Yeah.
Okay, how many times do I have to hit it? 3?
Do you want to hit it 3? Usually we just hit it. It's like asshole.
Once. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Boom.
Rebecca was like the one episode. Rebecca was like holding it and like swinging it around while we were talking, and she was like hitting it onto the thing. And I was like, I think you might just be able to hear that in the microphone. And she's like, oh, sorry.
That's her little fidget.
Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
The only problem with the fidgeting is just like the fact that you can hear it in the audio.
Right.
Sometimes. I felt bad taking it away from her because I know it was fun to fidget with.
Don't feel bad.
Sorry, Rebecca. Do you want to give a fact or a life update?
Oh, I forgot about the facts. You
don't have to. We haven't really been doing it as much. I feel like just an update or like something relevant. You don't even have to.
It's been a minute since I've been on because I was traveling a little bit.
Yeah,
I went to Nashville and then I'm looking forward to my trip now to Europe. So if any listeners have any European suggestions.
Yeah, do you want to say where you guys are going?
Portugal, Italy, Amsterdam, London.
That's so cool.
So any recs we would love to hear. Like we're struggling with like restaurant recommendations, like the hole in the wall type places that are like, no, this is actually where you get the best pasta in Florence, you know? So if anyone has anything, I would love to hear it.
I went to Italy. My family we're not foodies.
Okay.
So we didn't really focus on restaurants, but we did go to Florence and it was so pretty. There's like the one bridge with all the jewelry vendors.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister and I got matching rings there, so that was fun. Florence is so pretty. It was gorgeous. Just all the buildings, and you just walk the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so pretty.
I've never been to Europe, so
really,
like I've only ever been to the Dominican Republic out of the United States. So
I hadn't been to Europe until I went to Italy, and I went partially for work. I was photographing a wedding there, and then my family came with me, and that was the only time I've been to Europe, and it was so pretty. Like, I'm dying to go back already. Yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's my life update.
Cool.
But
yay. Yeah. Okay, let's get into wedding drama.
Ooh, always the bridesman, never the bride.
Me too.
How freaking sad.
I know. When I texted Jimmy the idea for today's episode, he's like, we won't even be hypocritical because we're not married.
Yeah.
So we're really just outsiders. So we are unbiased.
Yeah, and we've kind of like beat the relationships to shit. It's me and you. And you know what? It's still not working out for us. So goddamn, right? Like Fiancé would say.
We're staying positive.
It's fine.
Though.
Yeah, we are. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Good. Let's change the frame of mind.
The one episode, I don't know the order that the episodes are going to come out in, but it was the Am I the Asshole friendship episode Rebecca and I did. We went on literally a 30-minute tangent about relationships and how people exclude people from couples nights when they're in relationships or not in relationships. And like, we were literally like, who hurt us?
Yeah, for real. And like, I'm the one excluding myself. I'm like, the single friend right now. And then all my friends will invite me out. Like, oh, we're all going out. And then it's like 7 people in the text. Yeah. 6 are, 3 couples and then me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what, guys? I'm actually just going to stay in. Like, I'll exclude myself from the plan.
That's okay. That's okay to do
yeah.
too. That's your own decision,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Autonomy.
Yeah.
I don't need no one else.
Yeah, neither do I.
I could buy my own flowers.
Oh, shit. Facts. As I like cry. I'm like, yeah, I can buy my own freaking flowers. And like,
only from Aldi.
It's fine though.
Yeah.
It's fine. Okay.
Here we go.
Here we go. Should we start with something dramatic?
Yeah. Obviously.
Amazing. Am I the asshole for telling my parents the truth about my stepsister's fiancé since they now won't pay for her wedding?
Okay.
I, 28 female, have a stepsister, Jen, 29 female. Our parents got together when we were teenagers, and Jen and I never clicked. I have nothing against her, we just aren't close. From the ages of 22 to 26, I worked at my stepdad's company, and Jen worked there too, and still does. While working there, I became friendly with a colleague, Pete. Everyone in the office would joke about Pete having a crush on me, but I never saw him like that, and he never said anything, so I didn't pay much attention to the possibility. However, when I started dating my now husband, things got a bit awkward with Pete. When I quit my job, Pete and I didn't really stay in contact, but we followed each other on social media. It was a few months later that I saw on Pete's social media that he had started seeing Jen. Pete and Jen got engaged last year, and since my stepdad agreed to pay for the wedding. A few weeks ago, an old colleague got married, so me, Jen, Pete, and my parents were all at the wedding. Pete was a little over-friendly at the reception, which I put down to alcohol. Later in the evening, though, I was outside getting some air, and Pete came out and basically propositioned me. I made it clear I was extremely uncomfortable and went back inside. The next day, I called Jen and told her everything. She accused me of trying to ruin her relationship and said that I shouldn't make the whole situation worse by telling her dad, since I'd already done enough to sabotage her relationships. I agreed because I didn't feel I had any right to continue being a spanner in the works. What's a spanner?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm going to look it up. A wrench?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They call it a wrench in Britain or in England. So I'm guessing it's like she means throwing a wrench in the plan. Okay. A week ago, I was Skyping my parents and they were talking about Jen's wedding. They were talking about Pete and my face must have changed because they immediately asked me if something was wrong. I insisted it was nothing, but it turned out they'd seen Pete follow me out at the wedding and had their own theories about what he'd done to upset me, all of which were worse than what actually happened. After 20 minutes of them thinking the worst, I told them the truth. I begged them not to do anything about it since Jen and Pete worked it out, but my stepdad was livid. He called Jen and they had a huge fight, and he refused to pay for the wedding or even attend. Jen has been calling and texting me and posting on social media about what a horrible person I am for ruining her wedding, and I've had messages from her friends telling me how awful it was for me to tell her parents after she asked me not to, and saying how I've basically ruined Pete's career, etc. I tried to explain that letting them continue assuming would have led to worse consequences, but apparently I should have just been able to hide the whole thing somehow. My friends say I did nothing wrong, but my stepdad is now not speaking to Jen, and her whole wedding has been canceled because of me. So I do feel guilty. Am I the asshole? I have thoughts.
Yeah, well, for me, this is one where I want to hear both sides, kind of, you know?
Okay.
Like, I feel like there's more to this.
Really?
To this story, kind of. Yeah, what are your thoughts?
I think she's not the asshole. I think that Jen probably settled for a guy because Pete probably liked OP and she got engaged. He couldn't have her. So he settled for the next best thing, which was Jen. Jen probably knows that deep down, doesn't want to admit it. And I feel like she's jealous of Pete's feelings for OP, and she thinks that marrying him will solve all the problems. And I feel like now she's mad.
Wow. Okay.
Is that not the idea you got?
No, I don't know. There was like one part earlier on that said like, it seems like this has happened before or something. See, this is why I'm not a lawyer.
Actually, this is...
I would need to read a brief. I would need to read a brief like lawyers, 300 times.
Yeah, they do. They do. They reread it constantly.
I just felt like there was something in there that was like,
I know, like she was jealous of her past relationships or something.
I feel like this is also, though, like an issue across the board. Like I've been watching Real Housewives. I always bring it up. I know, right? But every season, there's always some type of like infidelity, or like the latest season of the Real Housewives of Potomac. The one Real Housewife, Giselle, accused the other housewife, Candace's husband, Chris, of making her feel uncomfortable by like following her into her dressing room by herself to talk.
Oh.
And she said he didn't do anything, like didn't try to make any advances on her, anything. But she was like, I was uncomfortable that he came into my dressing room by myself. And it was this huge storyline the whole season.
Okay.
And it was blown like huge. And Giselle claimed she didn't want it to be blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
Candace was like, you can't make claims like that. It's going to hurt his career, all of these things, which I think is true, you know?
Yeah.
But that's why these accusations get thrown around very quickly. And like, I would love to know, and it's not that I don't believe her.
Yeah.
Over him, but like I would like to know more specifics of like what it was. You know what I mean? Because it is like, and I mean, obviously this is a big deal.
Yeah.
They were getting married. The wedding's off.
Yeah.
But also, do you think there were other maybe red flags that the parents were like enough to step in where they're like, we're not paying for you to marry this man. Like, he is not it.
I kind of don't think there would need to be other red flags. Like, I feel like there wasn't anything else about their past relationships, but basically the entire time that OP worked at the dad's company, Jen worked there too. And OP was friends with Pete, and everyone in the office would joke about Pete having a crush on her. So, like, for 4 years, from the time that OP was 22 to 26, Jen saw everyone in the office making jokes about how Pete likes OP. And maybe Jen secretly always liked Pete and then was resentful towards her sister because Pete liked her sister and not her. So then when Pete finally started giving attention to Jen, Jen was like, oh, finally, it's my turn. Like, now he likes me. And she probably always had it in the back of her mind that he liked her sister. Yeah. Probably was a bit insecure. And then when she found out that Pete hit on the sister or propositioned her, she got mad at the wrong person. She should have gotten mad at Pete, but instead she got mad at her sister. Yeah. No. And if my daughter was trying to marry someone that propositioned my other daughter and I knew about it and I kind of watched it happen, I wouldn't give my blessing to that man anyway. So I feel like that's all it would take for me to be like, I'm not paying for this. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. I think that's a fair, definitely viewpoint.
I feel like they almost needed to tell her that we're not going to pay for the wedding because what else could they have done to like get it across to her, like get the point across to her that this is not the guy for you. Yeah,
and they don't want to be having her make excuses for him and chase him along when he's doing the wrong thing. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't think she's an asshole.
No, I don't think she's an asshole.
Yeah, I would have told everyone immediately. If my sister asked me not to tell my parents, I would have said I won't tell my parents if you break up with him. But I would tell my parents, I think, if... It's,
like, hard, though, because, like, we, at the end of the day, we're all adults, right? Like, if she wants to make what we feel is, like, a dumb choice to stay with him, like, isn't that her choice to make? I mean, it's not great, obviously. Like, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't want my sister to do that either, but at the end of the day, you kind of have to, like, let them make that choice for themselves. You don't have to pay for it, though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think I would tell my parents because, yeah, you're right. You can make whatever decision you want, but I'm not going to pay for it. And the parents would need to know that this crazy thing happened in order to, like, take away the funds, you know? Yeah. Eek! I don't think you're an asshole.
No, I don't think you're an asshole.
This makes me sad because I feel like so many people settle in relationships, and Jen is definitely settling. Like, why would you want to marry someone that literally propositioned your sister?
Yeah, and I hate, like, family fights.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that. Again, housewives, family fights, like, all the time. And you watch it on TV, and it's like, no one, like, I would never want to fight with my sisters like that. No. You know, like, they're, like, my best friends. You and Aaron are, like, best friends. Yeah. You guys are together all the time. You know what I mean?
Like, over a guy, too.
Right.
It's like some guy. Like, I heard this phrase that was like, every guy is just some guy, but every girl is that girl. And I was like, that's so true.
Men ain't shit.
They're not worth your time.
No.
I saw this meme that said, last time I took a man seriously, I lost my will to live.
Yikes.
And I was like, why do I low-key relate? Anyway, top comment was, not the asshole. How did Pete think this was going to end? If he really believed that you would take him up on his offer, he was blowing his career up anyway, as well as his relationship. Jen's also the asshole for blaming you in this matter when she should have placed all the blame on Pete. Facts. I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, like, why are we so quick to be like, oh, P, like, you're ruining his relationship and you're ruining his career? Like, does he have no blame in the situation?
No, yeah, he 100% does.
Like, no, he did this to himself. He took a risk and it didn't work out the way that he wanted it to.
And I mean, talk about being like stupid. I'm sorry, I call people stupid, but like, that's stupid. You're dumb.
Yeah.
Like, of all people, you're going to go after her sister and old coworker and like all XYZ.
Stupid.
Dumb. Yep. You ain't no lawyer.
No.
You can't cover up those tracks. Yikes.
This person might also be stupid. Hate to say it. Hate to say it. Am I the asshole for wanting a child-free wedding? I, 22 female, am getting married soon. 22.
Young girl, that's young.
Since my fiancé and I are child-free, and because we plan to have alcohol at our wedding, we decided to have a child-free wedding with the cutoff age at 21. This requirement so far has gone over well with most of our invitees. Most of our invitees don't even have kids anyway, so it doesn't make a difference for them. I do have one friend, Mel, 20 female, that I had to exclude from the wedding. After realizing that pretty much everyone else from the same social circle had been invited except her, she confronted me and demanded to know why she wasn't invited. I tried to explain that it wasn't personal and that I just didn't have to worry about underage drinking going on under my nose on my wedding day. But Mel kept accusing me of being a bad friend. She argued that since we had drank together before, it shouldn't be a big deal, but I told her that it was different since we were both underage at the time. I was 20 and she was 18 to 19 when we started drinking together. Now, as an adult, I feel like I have a responsibility to prevent underage drinking, and as the bride, I feel like I have the right to have a child-free wedding. Mel is unconvinced and keeps talking bad about me behind my back to our mutual friends and making snarky comments about me feeling superior. I don't see why she can't just relax and let me have my wedding day the way that I like. So, am I the asshole?
I think she might be the asshole.
Yeah.
And she's calling a 20-year-old a child.
Yes.
Like, child-free wedding. I was thinking like little kids.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking like 21 and up.
Yeah. And also, like, even if she's there, it doesn't necessarily mean that she's going to be automatically drinking.
Yeah. And I mean, granted, if you're that quick to write off this person, like, oh no, they cannot, then guess what? Probably shouldn't have them at your wedding anyways. Isn't it supposed to be about like people that you really care about, like celebrating your marriage? Yeah. I also would never be one to beg my way to a wedding or like bring it up. I'd be like, okay, fuck y'all. But that's if it was one of your best $150 less I got to put in the card. True. No, I know. But again, if it's one of your best friends, then that shouldn't even be on the table. Like I would be more upset for the friendship than I would be about not going to the wedding. True. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. Yeah. Totally.
I don't know. Yeah.
So weird that she's like child free. The girl's 20 years old. This is an adult in all 50 states.
Yeah. And can't you just ask her like, hey, like I would really appreciate if you didn't drink just because, you know, it's illegal.
Yeah. This is just another problem with young people getting married, because like if you're 22, obviously at least some of your friends are gonna be under legal drinking age. Like,
and no one ever under legal drinking age drinks at weddings. Oh yeah. Why are we even thinking about that?
Of course.
Like, it's not even on your mind.
Yeah. But it's like you're 22 years old and you're getting married, and like it didn't cross your mind that you were gonna have to, well, I guess it did, because you're like, oh, we can't invite her. But, like, it just doesn't make sense.
Be freaking for real. And now you want to put on your big girl pants. Yeah. After you were like, oh, yeah, I was drinking with her when I was 22. But now I'm an adult.
Now I'm an adult. 2 years ago, I was a
child. Yeah, I was a child 2 years ago.
You sound like a child now.
Yeah, I'm on a children-free wedding.
Yeah, you wouldn't make the cut, probably, if this is your behavior.
That's wild. No, again, yeah, you are the asshole, I think.
Definitely.
What are the comments on that one? I'm curious.
Yes, the asshole. You're 22 and you made the cutoff 21. That is not child-free. Your wedding is male-free. Ooh. True. Yeah, child-free. Like, come on. Ask any reasonable person if a 20-year-old is a child. That's just... No, they're an adult.
Yeah, initially I thought it was going to say something about, like, I didn't invite her because she has kids. That's what I was waiting on. You know what I mean? But then it ended up being
my God, that was terrifying. Someone is here in the studio with us.
It's a ghost.
Ew. Yeah, come sit. We have to finish our story first. Okay. You're already here, so why don't you just come in?
Come in.
take the place of the gavel.
Oh, we have a surprise guest.
Aaron is here.
Oh, wow.
Aaron, let's get your quick opinion. Okay. This is a bride, 22 years old, getting married, child-free wedding. One of her close friends is 20. Didn't make the cut because she's a child and she doesn't want to condone underage drinking.
That's frick. Yeah. That is your friend.
Yeah.
Is it your friend?
Yeah, I think asshole.
Yeah, not a good friend.
Yeah. Wait, Jimmy was supposed to man the gavel. Would you like to do the honors?
Asshole.
Amazing.
Well, I'm glad the comments were on our side too. Like, that's wild. And now, and also, not for nothing, it's not the fucking Met Gala.
Wait, speaking of Met Gala.
Ooh.
Am I the asshole for wearing a wedding dress at a wedding?
Yes. Next.
Not so fast.
Oh.
Let me present some evidentiary support.
Ooh, okay.
That is from Legally Blonde. Doesn't that mean I have to present, like, evidentiary support? And then she goes, and what kind of that's when she's, like, first starting to, like, get it.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
I'm gonna get there, never gonna stop now. And I won't stop till I'm on top now. I'm taking over, so watch me, better watch me shine. You know that?
Wow.
Yeah, that scene from Legally Blonde.
Next
I've
pop
just seen
star.
it a few too many times.
Shit.
Okay, now for the evidence. So my friend, 20 female, and I, 19 male, have been friends for a few years, and she recently got engaged. Wait, so, okay, this is a 19 male as our OP. Huh. A week ago, I got a DM from her for a small costume party she was hosting as a celebration for her getting engaged. I asked if there was a theme, and she said there wasn't. I'm a cosplayer, so I had a lot of choices. I didn't want to rock up in an anime cosplay, so I thought it would be funny to go to an engagement party as the corpse bride. I arrived at her house yesterday, and everything seemed normal. A few people complimented me on my costume, and I was having a lot of fun. After 10 minutes, my friend's fiancé walked out in a black tuxedo and announced this was actually their wedding. Apparently, my friend saw a video of someone doing this and wanted to do the same. He asked us all to go to the backyard for the ceremony to begin. And this 19-year-old man is just in a corpse bride costume.
This is amazing.
I went straight to him. I asked him if I should quickly go home and change my outfit and that I would get back before it started. He told me it was fine since I didn't know this was the wedding. Oh, so sweet of him.
Yeah.
Okay. I trusted him and followed everyone outside. They got married and everything seemed good. The reception was just in their house again, so everyone just walked back inside and picked up where they left off. I tried talking to my friend and celebrating with her, but she kept making excuses to not talk to me. I assumed it was just because she was tired from the big day and wanted some time alone. I didn't bother her after that, and the party soon ended. I got home and half an hour passed when my phone started getting notifications. I checked, and it was my friend texting me. She was cussing me out and telling me how I ruined her wedding. I was really confused and asked what I did. That only made her more angry. She told me it was basic knowledge to not wear a wedding dress to a wedding. I reminded her that I had no idea it was a wedding and that I asked her, now husband, if I should change, and he said it was fine. She didn't respond, but I did get a text from her husband. He asked why I would tell her that he said it was fine. I told him he said it was fine. Then he said how I should have changed anyway, and it's my fault that the two are now fighting over this. I tried texting her that I was sorry, and if I had known, I wouldn't have done it. I woke up today and saw her and her husband have blocked me on everything. So, am I the asshole for not changing out of the wedding dress when I found out it was actually a wedding?
No, I think it's iconic.
It's so iconic.
That's amazing.
Okay, I am really about to be really critical, and it might come off as mean and judgmental.
Let's hear it.
Okay, here I go. So your friend is 20 years old, and she just got married. I don't know how old her now husband is, but he sounds like a child, just like she does, because he texted you and told you that it's your fault that you told his now wife the truth, and now they're fighting over it, and the fact that he made a decision is now your fault.
Yeah.
No, it's not your fault that the man told you that it was okay. He obviously tried to lie to his wife about it, And now he's blaming you for being honest? No, he should have been honest with his wife. And if he doesn't know how to do that, maybe he shouldn't be married.
Yeah, and take responsibility for his words.
Exactly.
And again, iconic.
Yeah, I love
iconic.
that.
I would have loved if someone came to my... And again, you didn't know it was a wedding.
Yes.
Like, come on. And it sounds like it wasn't just like he like threw on a dress and went. Like, it sounds like it was, you know, pretty involved. Like, he probably had like makeup done, like everything.
There was an edit and he said, "Edit, I am a guy. I cosplayed the character Emily from The Corpse Bride and had blue paint all over. I'm also Australian and I've never heard of a costume party, meaning fancy. Everyone was dressed up in funny costumes."
Yeah, I think that is the perfect costume for
that's
like
amazing.
A wedding celebration party. Like, that's hilarious.
Yeah, and you said it was a costume party, so why are you gonna get mad when your guests wear costumes?
Yeah, I'm taking my ding ding back. My my ding ding. I'm taking my whatever you call it back. Okay?
Yes.
No, you're not the asshole. I think they're the assholes.
The couple is so immature and they shouldn't be married. I'm sorry. I have to say it. Don't get married when you're 20 years old if you don't know how to have a conversation with your partner.
Yeah, and you can't, like, when you're going to invite people over for, like, an engagement party and then throw this all on them, any expectation about what anyone should be like should be out the window.
So true.
Like, come on. Like, they have no, you know what I mean? It's not wedding etiquette. There's no type of etiquette for something like this.
That's so true.
Like, show up, have a good time, and celebrate that they're engaged. That's the etiquette.
That is so true. Yeah. Any type of, like, rule around weddings, you cannot expect anyone to adhere to anything. Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, no, I think it's so funny.
Okay, there was an update.
Ooh?
I haven't read the update yet. Since they blocked me on everything, I didn't try to reach out since it would have been a waste of effort, but I didn't block them back. If they wanted to talk, I was fine with it. 2 days ago, I was unblocked by my friend. She asked if we could call and talk about what happened, and I agreed. She apologized for blowing up at me like she did, but she also told me she was still upset. I was only made aware because of the comments and now her that wearing wedding attire to anything wedding related is common sense. I don't really agree with that. If it's an engagement party that they're saying it's a costume party and you cosplay a dead bride that's blue.
It's one thing for like a bridal shower.
Yeah.
But, like, not for, like,
They said it was a costume party. Like, I feel like that's...
Yeah.
I can see where people are coming from with saying, like, it's a bridal event. Like, why would you dress up as a bride? But it's like, it's not dressing up as a bride. It's cosplaying an animated character that is dead and blue. Like, okay.
Yeah.
All I knew was no white on the wedding day. Honestly, after people informed me, I felt awful and downright stupid. So I apologized for not running it through her like I should have since I didn't know. I know lots of people were telling me to cut her off, but I've known her since I was 14, so I'm glad we can stay friends. Her husband, on the other hand, he had told her that he came up to me and asked me to change. Divorce. And apparently I told him it didn't matter because I was already there or something along those lines. She was crying a lot while telling me. After she blew up at me and I told her the real story, she got pissed at her husband. The husband suggested both of them block me so the fight would stop. She agreed to it, but was still upset by all of it. Eventually, she started asking people who were at the wedding to see what happened. 3 people saw me walk up to him and heard me ask. This is where she learned her husband lied to her.
Wow.
Again, a huge fight between the two. Turns out he's hated me since I met them 5 years ago. They had already been dating for a year beforehand. I became good friends with her, but not him. He felt as though I was trying to take his girlfriend. 6 years later, you still care about this? Because they were dating for a whole year before they met 5 years ago.
Yeah, nope.
Insecure. I don't know what I did to make him feel this way. I don't know why he'd wait 5 years, but he decided the day of his wedding was the best time to get rid of me. I'm not really sure what's going to happen to them in the future. She's staying at another friend's house until her and her husband are able to talk about it. They can't have a conversation?
Wow.
Annulment. Annulment. That means the marriage was never valid, I think.
That's that's like, I don't know. You're really going to move out that quick?
That's
Yikes.
Insane.
Yeah, I don't know about this one.
That's crazy. That's basically it. My friend is doing a lot better and plans to talk to her husband soon. I've also shown her my posts since and felt like she had a right to know. While some comments made her quite upset, she knows that she overreacted. Okay, at least the bride has some sort of maturity going on.
Yeah, it seems like she's open and taking, or accepting.
Yeah.
Like that what they're saying is, the truth.
Wow.
Yikes. Either way, OP's not the asshole. Nope.
Agreed.
I think the husband's the asshole.
Bang the gavel. Wow.
Ding.
That's crazy. But
Yeah.
I just saw a meme that you reminded me of when you said my ding ding.
Well, the ding ding's back because that man's the asshole, okay? Also, this person's from Australia. They probably may have felt like, too, like a cultural thing. I don't know what weddings are like in Australia. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, that could be another thing that, kind of goes into it. But again, I wish that I were creative enough to show up to my sister's engagement party dressed as a dead bride. Are you freaking kidding me?
That's so funny.
Icon. Yeah. That is literally Met Gala shit.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, that's Met Gala shit.
Agreed. This meme said, go ahead, go to the Bell Factory since you want to act like a ding dong.
Period.
I saved that and sent it in a group chat. I thought that was very funny.
Yeah, for real.
Get the gavel ready for this
one.
Oh
boy, I love the titles too because they just get you on the edge of your seat and then it's nope.
Am I the asshole for not giving my sister a +1 to my wedding and telling her that she's being selfish? I'll get straight to the issue.
Oh.
I'm getting married in about 2 months. We're having a pretty intimate wedding in terms of the number of guests. So outside of married/engaged couples, only people we know have a long-term significant other received a +1. Ella, my half-sister, she has a long-distance boyfriend who's coming to visit. All well and good, but he'll be here the week of my wedding. She asked for a +1 to bring him, but I said that's not possible because we've already confirmed catering and everything, and I really don't know him that well. Ella tried saying I gave my friends +1s, but they've been in actual relationships for a couple of years, and they'll be hurt if I don't give them +1s. I said sorry, but this is our decision, and I don't want other people getting upset, and other relatives asking why they couldn't bring their boyfriend or girlfriend of the month weekday.
Wow.
Now she's saying she won't be attending because it's disrespectful to her relationship and she wants to spend time with him before he leaves. I said she's being extremely selfish and acting like she's the only person who didn't receive a +1. This is causing issues between me and Ella. So am I the asshole?
So, I would love to know when he planned this trip to visit.
Right.
Because, the catering and all of that. Because, I mean, I know that that's a real thing. They only pay for a certain number of plates and that's the only plate that you're getting. You know what I mean? But I do kind of feel like the bride maybe is, being a little bit I don't think the bride is fully accepting of their relationship as a valid relationship. I don't know if it's because of the long distance thing or what. Seems like the bride doesn't think that they're really in a serious relationship.
Absolutely. She definitely doesn't because she's like, other people are going to ask why they couldn't bring their boyfriend of the month.
Yeah.
Or their boyfriend of the week. It's like, did you really have to throw that in there?
Right. Yeah, that's shade.
Yeah.
That's shade.
And it's also your stepsister. Immediate family just gets different privileges than random guests at weddings. It's just how it works. It's like if you were going to have a child-free wedding, but your sibling is a child. Obviously your sibling is going to be invited. If you were getting married when you were 25 or 30 and your sibling was 13. Yeah, it's a child-free wedding, but your sibling's going to be the exception.
Right, at the end of the day, it's your sibling.
Yeah, you get different treatment when you are immediate family. And also, regardless of if it's immediate family or not, anyone can get special treatment for any reason if the couple wants them to get special treatment.
Right.
They're paying for it. It's their wedding. So regardless of what other guests think, you can do what... I just turned my flashlight on. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, and who cares? If someone said anything, I'd be like, well, good thing it's my wedding and not yours.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, but again, too, and I don't know, maybe there's more of a divide in general between this girl and her, is it her stepsister, half-sister? Seems like there's kind of maybe more...
Half-sister.
Yeah, I think that there's a level of respect that maybe isn't there in their sister-to-sister relationship.
Yeah.
Because I feel like she would probably be a little more understanding if there was.
Yeah, and I also feel like she had to clarify that it was a half-sister.
Yeah.
I know people that have half-siblings and they would never say my half-sister or my half-brother. They would just say my brother.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like she had to throw in that she was a half-sister just to clarify that, she doesn't deserve the title of sister.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It does come off that way a little bit.
Yeah. I think that you are an asshole, especially if your half-sister, Ella, is in the bridal party or played any role in making your wedding day or wedding whole year process leading up to it more enjoyable. Because I just think that if you are asking people to be in your bridal party, the least you can do is give them a +1 to your wedding.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, especially if they are paying money to, like, outside of just the normal gift, like, if they are paying money and giving time to be there for you and provide a better experience for you, I just think the least you can do, especially if they're in a relationship. Like, if they've been single for years, I feel like maybe it's not the biggest deal if you don't give them a +1. But if they're in a relationship, it doesn't matter how long the relationship was. If they're in the bridal party, like, they deserve a +1, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm curious, the comments, because I also know, like, again, and we're saying this, like, it's my wedding, like, who cares what other guests say, but also it's, like, her wedding. So, like,
yeah,
if she doesn't want to give a +1, then I guess it's her wedding. I mean,
yes.
I don't know. I could
agree.
still, you know, feel that you're an asshole, but at the end of the day, I guess it is her wedding. I don't know.
No, you're right. That's true. Because she is in the right to make any decisions that she wants. But I do still think it could be rude. Even though you're entitled to your decision,
Right.
It is still rude.
100%, yeah.
Top comment. Yes, the asshole. Your sister has been with this guy for over 3 years. That's long term. I'm guessing somewhere in the comments they said that. What's the real reason you wouldn't give her a +1, especially when you gave friends a +1, but not your own family? And for the record, you are free to invite or not invite whomever you want. But be prepared to deal with the rejection when they decline coming because you chose to act like an asshole. That is a great way of putting what I was just thinking.
Yeah.
I hope it was worth losing your relationship with your sister over.
Wow.
Damn, mic drop.
Yeah. Ouch.
Facts.
But yeah, I mean, they're not sugarcoating anything. It's the truth.
Yeah.
You know?
Agreed. Another top comment was, are long distance relationships not actual relationships? I feel like you are not respecting her relationship as real because they are long distance, and that is definitely not your place. Also, isn't 2 months still plenty of time to adjust catering and stuff to include one more person? Not that big of a deal. You're just being mean. Yes, the asshole.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that comment was basically like what my entire take was on it, I feel like, right? Like,
yeah,
that's exactly how I feel. Yeah.
There's more going on here.
100%. And you're not seeing her relationship as valid.
Yeah, totally.
In 2 months, that's enough time to add a plate, 100%.
Yeah.
I know people that have gotten married. I just got an invite for a wedding in May. I just got the invite yesterday.
Yeah. Don't you not even send invitations out until like 6 weeks before a wedding?
Yeah.
And then I guess the RSVP would be like a month before? Or
yeah, like you,
like,
I think you send it out like 2 months before and then RSVP like a month before.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
Nah, she's playing.
Yeah. And also, everyone that RSVP'd to your wedding is probably not going to go. Like, if you invited hundreds of people, odds are one of them got sick.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know. Also, you're paying tens of thousands of dollars, most likely, for your venue. And as a bride, if you went to the venue and you said, my sister's boyfriend is going to be in town, we didn't expect this, we're all so excited to have him. Like, is there any way we could add on one extra seat? You think any wedding venue that wants you to leave a good review isn't going to make an exception, even if they had to make an exception? Like, I'm sure they wouldn't even have to at this time frame, but they would do that. All they want is a good review.
Or hit up the friggin' drive-thru and don't even get the plate. Just come for the party.
Yeah.
Like, you know? I don't know.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, there's more to the story on this one.
Yeah, totally. Asshole.
Boom. Boom, ding. Boom and ding. Asshole.
Am I the asshole for uninviting my mother and aunts from my wedding after what they said about my fiancé? I, 25 male, am extremely lucky to be marrying the woman of my dreams, Maya, 24 female. I'm originally American, but moved to Norway when I was 19 to get a college education without paying an arm and a dick. I met Maya when I was 20, and we've been together ever since. We recently got engaged, and our wedding is planned for this fall. I wanted to tell my family in person about it, so we planned a trip to visit my hometown to announce it. This is the third time my parents, 55 male and 52 female, are meeting her in person, and the first for more distant relatives. We had a big dinner at my aunt's, 57 female, Deborah, house and we announced it, and most of my family was ecstatic and congratulated us. My mom, Deborah, and one other aunt did not look happy. I didn't really pay it much mind at first, but as the evening progressed, Maya told me that she felt super uncomfortable with the glare she was getting from the three of them. She's quite shy and not very confident in English, so we talked in Norwegian between the two of us for the most part. Of course, when talking with my family, we spoke English, but I started to feel the chill from my mother's glares whenever the two of us were talking. I told Maya I'd be right back, and I talked with my dad about what the deal was. He just kind of shrugged and told me, "You know how your mom gets with women you're seeing? Don't worry about it. She's just upset that her son is putting roots down an ocean away." He was wrong about not needing to worry. After dessert, my mom stood up and gave a toast. Cheers to my son and his fiancé. She may not be the best woman for him, but I'm sure he'll realize that once he sees what a slut and gold digger...
Wait, what?
I'm sure he'll realize that once he sees what a slut and gold digger she is. Or maybe she'll grow a conscience and save him from himself. Cheers.
Ding dong. That lady is a bitch. Oh my God.
I would actually go no contact.
Yeah.
Absurd.
That's wild.
Yeah. Maya left the room crying, and there was a long silence aside from my mom and my aunts snickering. Like, they still thought she was in the right after Maya ran out of the room crying. They were laughing a lot about it.
Mean girl behavior.
Bad.
Come on.
Before I broke in and said, "You realize that the choice for who the most important woman in my life is hasn't had you in the running for nearly a decade. I actually love her and would choose a kick to the nuts over you. The three of you aren't welcome at the wedding, and Maya and I will be staying at a hotel for the rest of our time here." And then I left as quickly as possible with Maya.
That's really sad.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
I feel bad for putting Maya through that and don't want her to have to deal with anything like that on what's supposed to be one of the happiest days of our lives. But at the same time, I've been getting calls from my family about how unreasonable I'm being. He's being unreasonable.
Yeah, what?
That my mom was drunk and is just worried about me, etc., etc. My sister, who has no contact with our mother, told me that I royally fucked up and probably burned most of the bridges with our family, or at least our mother's side.
Well, if the sister is already no contact, did she not burn any bridges either?
Yeah, wait, what? How is it OP's fault?
No.
When the sister is already no contact, and then she's like, "Oh, well, you burned the bridges." I did?
No.
The mom stood up and called his fiance a slut and a gold digger. They've been dating for 5 years. What? Okay. And a lot of my mother's side have said they won't come unless I re-invite my mom and aunts. I would literally be like, "Okay, baby, don't come."
Yeah, at the end of the day, they'll regret it more than he will.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Mm-hmm. My dad said he can't come unless my mom can go, and he really wants to be there. I don't know what to do, and Maya said it's my choice, but she really doesn't want them there. Am I the asshole? No.
Did
not
mom?
At all.
I'm curious if mom reached out at all to try to make an actual apology, or even that I think would be hard. There's hate in her heart, and I understand the mama's boy thing. I was very much a mama's boy. I'm sure whoever I would bring home, my mom would be super
yeah.
But still, that's not, my mom would never do that.
No.
Never.
I think there's a difference between a mama's boy and the mom wanting to be in an emotional relationship with the son.
Yeah.
Why are moms so intimidated by their son's girlfriends or fiancés or wives?
And how would his mom, even if they've met 3 times, how would she even know that she is a gold digger and a whore?
No, I think the mom is so manipulative and mean. And if the dad is right that she actually is just upset that her son is now going to be living in Norway, she's just trying to make the fiance look bad. Mm-hmm. So that the son has a different, view of his fiance.
Yeah.
And if he's like, "Oh, yeah, she is." What did the mom think was going to happen? That her son would be like, "Oh, yeah, you know what? Just because my mom said one sentence at a family party, I'm going to break up with the girlfriend now." Right. No, what did you think was going to happen?
Yeah, and I might sound mean here. I believe that he probably went there to get a free or cheaper education, college degree. But honey, your son was that quick to pick up and move across the pond himself.
Yeah.
It's like you as his mother were probably a little bit toxic. You already have a daughter that's no contact.
Yeah.
Maybe look in, and you know what? Housewives, Teresa Giudice, her tagline this season is like, they do say blood is thicker than water, but it's also a lot harder to clean up when it spills.
Oh, shit.
So like, yeah, like blood, I mean, at the end of the day, like I would ride or die for my family. I haven't had to go through this, thank God. But blood is like what at the end of the day? You know what I mean? Like if she's going to treat you or someone that you really love and like you've built this life with across the pond, then at the end of the day, like, okay, whatever, you know, sounds like there's a lot more going on with that woman.
Yeah. I just don't get how the whole family is blaming the son. So none of the other family members, nobody, except maybe the dad, can see that the son planned a positive engagement party to announce this good news that they were celebrating. The mom got up in front of everyone and said, the girl is a slut and a gold digger. And the son said, well, she's more important to me than you ever have been. And they're saying that the son is the only person that made a mistake here, and it's all his fault.
Yeah, no, wild.
Like, what did you think the son was going to say when confronted with such violent words? Like, did you think he was just going to accept it or go away quietly?
Right. And I feel like too, I think this is in general, it's like kind of like in America, or maybe, I don't know if it's other countries too, but I feel like there needs to be, like, people try to always put something as it's a level of respect for your adults. So, you know, you always have to respect your adults. You shouldn't act or talk to them that way. And I'm like, no, I'm also an adult. Like if he should be like, I'm also an adult. This is a huge life decision that I'm making. And I was excited to share this with my family. Yeah. I came all this way to do it.
Yeah.
And then that's how I was treated. So no, you're not going to like gaslight me. Yeah. The whole family sounds neurotic.
Oh, horrible. Yeah.
The aunts sound crazy. They must be like fucking Cinderella. No. Oh, they're the assholes. Yeah. You are not the asshole.
They all suck.
I'm sorry.
Lot. Yeah. I don't even have words. Like I feel like other than like go no contact, like what is the advice? Like that's just absurd.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Sorry, you got to be out.
Yeah.
Which is a hard decision to make, I'm sure, but
yeah.
Or maybe it's not.
I mean, I'm sure for some people it would be, some people it wouldn't be. I mean, he has already lived across the pond for 5 years. It's like, is it really going to be that much harder to just move there permanently?
Right. And whatever their relationship was beforehand, like obviously he felt the level of respect and care enough to, you know, come over here and announce it to them like that.
Yeah. There was a few edits.
Okay.
My sister isn't siding with my mom's side of the family. She knows that I want to have my family in my life. So me royally fucking up is in reference to that, as well as the fact that she knows my dad probably won't be able to come because of this. Now, I think the sister is still victim blaming.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I want to take that approach. I'd take the approach of like, okay, like listen to what they said and like whatever. Like they're not coming. Fine. You don't need them there.
Yeah. After talking with Maya, we both agreed that since the dad is someone I do genuinely care about, I should give him one chance to actually decide whether he wants to be part of my life going forward. I just got off the phone with my father and I asked him to have a one-on-one. He agreed and I will be meeting him in a couple of hours. I made a big list of points that I want to cover based off of several comments I've seen here.
It seems like the son is like really mature.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially for a 25-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, your frontal lobe was just formed fully this year, and you're already
She's a doctor and a lawyer, guys. I don't know what to say. I mean, shit. I know who to call for anything.
So he did talk to his father. This is the last edit. He did talk to his father. He said he's denied it for years because he felt like he'd be a failure if he divorced his mother, but he knew standing up to her would mean she'd divorce him. He apologized for failing me and my sister. Wow. I told him the only apology I would accept is if he strapped his balls back on and chooses his kids over his wife. He hesitated. I could really see the conflict in his eyes. I almost caved seeing him like that, but before that could happen, I told him he knows where his balls are, how to contact me, and that only he knows what he really wants. All he needs to do is let me know before the wedding. I'm hopeful, but I don't know what will happen. I like the way this guy writes.
Wow.
He's just like, I moved because I didn't want to pay an arm and a dick.
Yeah,
he's like, you know where your balls are. Okay.
He's a guy's guy.
He is a guy's guy. He's also a girl's guy, standing up to his or for his wife.
Yeah, I agree with that. But again, yeah, this woman's just crazy.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even the dad's like, get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But, like, I probably is like, I'm old and, like, am I really going to divorce her? Like, I only got a couple good years left in me. That's what it sounds like you say.
Sad.
Like, please don't put me in that situation ever.
I know. Wow. Yeah, that sucks. Your mom sucks.
Yeah.
Damn.
Maybe we should do an episode like, am I too quick to leave?
Oh.
Because, like, I'm like, all the time. Like, oh, yeah, I'm out. See ya.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I was planning an episode. I feel like the really niche episodes like that take longer to plan because the stories are like fewer and far between. But I was planning an episode about, do they deserve a second chance? The first one on the list is a story about a guy who like almost missed a first date, or he did miss a first date because of something, but he was like apologizing to the girl and like there was a valid reason or something, and I'm like, I don't know, or maybe there was a second date, like I don't know, but I think that is an interesting concept to be like, what would we do? And then
because I do feel like I am quick to leave.
I'm quick on here to be like, break up,
right? But
then I'm like, would I really break up with them? Takes a lot to break up.
I don't know, I'm like
to break up.
Yeah.
Jimmy?
But again, that's why I think we should explore that more.
Yeah. Okay, I'd love to.
It would make me reflect more, maybe.
I love how you handle like breakups and like people walking out of your life, because I remember when we first started getting close, I was telling you about some guy that was like just a dickhead like a year prior or something. And I remember it was something that actually affected me. And I was like, oh, like it made me so sad. I was like sad about it for a while. And you literally were just like, yeah, if you don't want to be in my life, like don't let the door hit you on the way out. Yeah. And I literally was like, I need to start thinking like that more, because I feel like when I do like someone, I just give so much of myself to them and then let it affect me for so long, when like the reality is like, if you want to walk away, bye. Yeah, no, but it is hard, especially when there's like deeper feelings involved. Yeah, totally. Definitely. But even with that one situation, I was like, that wasn't even that deep. Like I was just like giving this guy so much of my thought, and I'm like, ew, wait, no, you suck. I definitely think you have to like take a step back and be like, okay, how invested am I in this? Yeah. Is this the person, like if I feel like I'm doing all of this and they're not giving it back, is this really something that I should even be upset about? You know what I mean? And that's, I think that's where that comes from. But I think I've been on the other side lately where I haven't been able to find. And I mean, I think it's just, you know, life in general. Like, I just haven't been able to find someone that I feel fully, like, invested in. But then I leave. And, like, I feel like I'm lately, and, like, I don't know, I don't want to, like, come off as, like, rude or, like, I don't get dumped. But, like, I feel like I'm the one that's been doing the dumping. Mm-hmm. Like, since my last, like, really legitimate relationship, like, years ago. Yeah. I'm, like, pretty much always the one that's like, I'm not feeling it anymore. Yeah. And I'm like, is that my fault? Like, am I looking for too much? I don't think so. You know what I mean? Like, I know what you mean. Yeah, but, like, at some point there has to be a little bit of, like, a bargaining thing. Not like a bargaining thing, but like, is there really like a Mr. Perfectly Fine? Like, you know what I mean? Does that truly exist? Yeah. And I know relationships are work and everything else, but then I'm like, I don't know. I think that it's a little bit of both, because it's like, are you asking too much? I don't think so. I remember talking to my sister like last summer, and I'm like, I just want to find a guy who is really nice, really cool, funny, has a job that they're passionate about, goes snowboarding every weekend, always loves hanging out with their friends, has a great family, like is really healthy, into working out, is a good friend, really cares about me, like open and honest communication. Like I was just like going off. And she's like, come on, don't you think you're asking a bit much? And I was like, that's me. I was like, no, I'm literally describing myself, and a guy is going to meet me and all of those qualities are going to be in me. And like, I know it might sound like, I don't know, like narcissistic or like overconfident to say all that, but I'm like, no, I am a good friend to people, and I want someone that matches my personality, especially when it comes to like hobbies. And I want someone that's passionate and healthy and has a great family and amazing friends that welcome me. And I'm like, that is what somebody would get if they dated me. Right. So no, I don't think you're asking for too much, but I do think that it takes a long time to find. And I said that to another friend of mine, and I was like, so I could also say that about all of my friends. So why is it so hard for me to find someone like this? And my friend was like, probably because there's more good girls than there are guys. And I was like, eek, maybe that's true, especially because if you're searching for people in your own age bracket, some people just take more time to mature. Like most people say that women mature faster than men. So maybe that's why there are more amazing girls at our age than there are guys. And like older guys might be more mature typically. Obviously, it depends on the person, but I don't know. I'm not going to walk around and be like, well, there's more amazing girls than guys. And that's just a fact. But like, I have a lot of amazing girlfriends that are single. And we're all in the same boat of like, why can't I find a guy?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I agree.
What was the other thing you said? Oh, yeah. The thing about perfect person. I think that's true to an extent. I think that obviously there's going to be things in a relationship that you need to negotiate. Like there's definitely going to be some things that you don't agree on. And you're going to be able to be like, okay, well, this person makes it worth it. You know, like I would change my mind on this, or I would be open to doing this new thing because this person is worth it.
Right.
But I think that some people have non-negotiables that they're like, it doesn't matter who it is. I want someone that does this thing or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think both are fair, but I think that if you do find like an amazing person and they maybe have like 2 things missing from your perfect person, maybe that's a person that you spend more time on and you're like, okay, like, do I want to reevaluate maybe something that was a non-negotiable in the past for this person that has everything else I want? But you don't have to do that.
Yeah, and I think too it goes along with like core values eventually. Not that this is like diminishing what you want. Yeah. But like if it were like the go snowboarding every weekend and it's like, well, they don't like to go snowboarding, but they like to do this. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, well, okay. And like you also could have your own interests and like that part maybe, but like, I don't know, like the core values, like being motivated and being, you know, like, I don't know, I like a people person. Like I like going out and having fun. Like, you know, someone that I want someone that I could throw into a room with my friends and walk away. And I'm like, God, I don't have to think about what they're talking about. I don't have to worry about what they say. Yes. I know my friends are going to pick up right where they left off with them. And like, that's it. You know what I mean? Like, I just want it to be easy that way.
Yeah, totally.
And I think I've been struggling with the motivation part of it. Like, I've been like dating guys lately that they're not motivated in their jobs, but then I see it spill over into like their personal life. And like, I'm someone that like Sunday mornings, where do I love to go? I go across the bridge to Cherry Hill. I'm at Costco. Like I love doing errands. Like I'm up and about and like I like doing things like that. And like that's where I see it spill over, where I'm like, that is something that like that's part of my daily routine that like I really enjoy. And like it gives me peace of mind. And like I would like a companion for things like that. Like sounds stupid, like a companion to go to Costco.
No, it doesn't
like it's fine.
Stupid.
But like I just, you know what I mean? Like those are the parts where I'm just like, and then I'm like, all right, well I'm out. But I'm like, is that too quick, you know? So
I don't think, I mean, it's possible that it has been too quick in certain situations, but the word that I was looking for earlier is compromise. Like,
oh yeah.
What are the things that you're willing to compromise on? Because I think that there are, in every relationship, there are things that you're gonna have to compromise on, but you're allowed to have non-negotiables that you don't want to compromise on. Maybe instead of, how can I say this and not be confusing? Like, if you do have non-negotiables that maybe at first that person doesn't meet, if everything else about them is great or is like exactly what you want, I think it can be healthy to be open-minded about that other person being open-minded. So like if my non-negotiable, I'll use a simple one, is snowboarding, whatever. At first glance, if someone was like, I really don't want to snowboard, I'd be like, oh, that's annoying because that's all I want to do in the winter. But instead of ruling them out after like 2 months, maybe if they're like my perfect person in every other regard other than this one thing, maybe I can be more open-minded to them becoming open-minded about this thing. So at first, if they were like, I hate winter, I hate the snow, I don't want to do that, maybe I'm like, oh, well, can I share winter with you? Like, can I share a ski trip with you and see if you like it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think that it's more so like you care about this person, you see that it's like one of their passions, and then it's like, why don't you come along with me? Even if you don't want to snowboard, at least come and sit in the lodge for a little bit. Like, you know me, I love, like, I go to the Montage Mountain in Scranton, and I'm like, shit, I'm in Aspen.
Yes.
And I have a great time. Me and my friend Brianna, we go and have cocktails in the lodge.
I love that.
We don't even get a lift ticket. We don't bring nothing. We dress cute. We are not touching those slopes.
I love that.
But we love to just go and just be there and be in the environment. Like, I think it's fun to just go anyway. So
I think
like
so
that
too.
could be, but I think that could go with anything. You know what I mean? Anything that you're interested in, or you may have a passion in. Like, say you're really into like live music, like, but your person that you're into only likes pop, and you're like, I'm going to this great indie concert. I would still think that if I were that other person, I'd be like, oh, I'll go along. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I could see it's not going to be the end of the world.
Yeah.
You know, like, might as well go and try it out.
Exactly. And also, like, if you are really into indie and all they like is pop and all you've ever heard them talk about is pop, don't in your mind rule out that, oh, they're only into pop, so they wouldn't even want to come with me. Be open-minded to them being open-minded. Like, ask them how they would feel. Would you be open? Can I share indie music with you? Would you ever want to go to concerts with me? Even if they never said that before, even if they never showed interest in it before, people can change their minds and people can be flexible and fluid on certain things for the right person. And who knows, maybe they don't like indie music because they've never had an amazing experience with indie music, but maybe you're going to be the person to give it to them.
Yeah, and you could be like that bridge and like, you know, bring them in and get their toes wet a little bit.
Exactly.
I also think it's like really hot. No man has ever done this. You want to catch me? Get on it. Like, make a playlist. You know what I mean? Be like, oh, like, I know that you really like Ariana Grande and I've heard you listen to Taylor Swift a little bit. Why don't you try giving like Casey Musgraves a listen?
Yeah.
And like throw a couple Golden Hour songs on, or like throw a little Maggie Rogers on. Like, there could be a way to like bridge that in. Yeah. You could do that even with snowboarding. Like, okay, you don't like snowboarding. Like, why don't we go snow tubing? Like, something more like, you know what I mean? Like a soft launch into it.
Yeah. And like, I'm not trying to say change people or like try to change people, but sometimes introducing someone to something new isn't changing them.
No, not at all.
I feel like sometimes in relationships, it's like, this person doesn't match my non-negotiable and I don't want to change them. And it's like, people change all the time. Yeah. Like, I would change even if a guy didn't change me. Like, I change, I constantly get better. That's how I try to live my life. So there might be things that I want in a relationship next year that 3 years ago I'd never considered in a relationship. So I feel like it's okay to encourage, or not even encourage, but just ask the person you're seeing if they would be open-minded to this new thing that they've never experienced. Like, I don't think that's a bad thing. I actually think it's a great thing, but I also don't think it's a bad thing to not want to do that. Like, I feel like if you, I feel like it could be. I don't know. I was going to say, like, if you have a non-negotiable and someone doesn't meet it, you don't have to go out of your way to be like, well, please do this. Like, if I met someone and they didn't snowboard and they didn't want to go to the mountain and I was like, I don't want to have to beg them to come with me, like, that's fine too. But I feel like if you meet someone that's so amazing, like, no one is going to be 100% every single thing you've ever wanted, and you never fight and you never compromise and every single thing aligns forever. Like, that's just not how life works.
No, yeah. And I think too, again, it's like in the context of what it is. Like, if I met someone, and obviously, hopefully I want to, but there are a lot of homophobes in the gay community and like themselves. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, that's horrible.
Or like people that'll completely vote against their rights. Yeah. So like that to me, again, like that's a non-negotiable, that it's like, or abortion rights for me. Like that, this line will never be, I'm not moving on this. Like, you're not going to change my mind. If that's your view, that's great. I can't do that. You know what I mean? Like that is something, but again, that's deeper of an issue than like snowboarding or something like that. Yeah. I also think that you could reframe your mind on certain things like that, where it's like, I'm not changing myself. Maybe I'm discovering something new about myself.
That is a great
And you're
way
learning
to put
and growing in a relationship, right?
Yes.
Like, you want to grow as a person with someone else, I'm sure.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that you're changing yourself. Maybe you're discovering another part of you that you haven't had before, you know?
That is such a good way to put it, because I was actually thinking about that with politics and religion recently, because I was watching a video about just being compatible with people and like certain things that make you uncompatible and like whatever. And the person was saying like there are certain things that you just simply will never be compatible with certain people on. And one of them that they were saying was politics. But part of me is also like, there is so much that I don't know about politics, and especially during the pandemic, I was just so into like the liberal side of things that if anyone told me that they were not on that side, in my mind, I'd be like, bad person, like, ew, right. Like, you're wrong, you're bad, you don't know what you're talking about, like, you hate people. But one of my best friends works in politics, and this person was telling me, I'm in this party, and every single day I go to work, and I work with people in every party. They are all good people, and they all have the same goal. Everyone's goal is to make the United States a better place for most people to live. So whether or not they have the same way of achieving that goal, I think it helps to look at people and be like, we do have the same goal for the most part. Obviously, there's people who just hate other people and they want to take rights away for the sake of taking rights away. Those aren't the people that I mean. But I used to just be like, oh, if you don't have the same ideals as me, you're a bad person. Right. That's not necessarily true. And people aren't necessarily voting a certain way just because of that one reason. Like, there's a million reasons why people vote the way they do. And anyway, just that idea, I really tried to open my mind. Like you said, there are some things I will never move on. Equality of rights. Like, I will never budge. Everyone is equal. Like, healthcare, women's healthcare, abortion. Like, there are certain things I will never change my mind on. They're just like human rights. But I do think it's important to talk to people that don't have the same belief as you. Because how are you ever going to better yourself if you're only surrounded by people that believe the exact same things you believe?
Agree, 100%.
And that do the exact same things you do. Like, if I met someone that never did or believed anything other than what I believe, how am I going to grow as a person? How am I going to discover, exactly like you said, discover new things about myself that I didn't even know were a part of me? So, wow, that's such an interesting line.
Yeah. What? Like,
just like the idea of like, oh, I'm not changing myself. I'm just discovering more about myself.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's another reason why I'm like, it's cool that I am still not married and I'm 26. Like, some people get married so young. And like, I think about if I were to get married when I was 22, like whoever I liked when I was 22 or 23, like if I married that person, I'm sure I would be miserable right now because I have evolved and changed so much. And I think I'm a better person for it. Yeah, and, you know, maybe those people that I liked back in the day, like maybe they also changed. Who knows? But I just think it's okay to broaden your horizons and like open your views more and spend time with people that don't believe exactly what you believe, whether it's like, I don't know, on any front, because I just think that's the only way that you're going to grow.
No, I agree. And I think, again, a lot of people are like very quick to be like,
yeah.
But I mean, I grew up in like a political family. My dad was mayor. My grandpa was mayor.
Oh, wow.
Like,
that's cool.
I have like, you know what I mean? So like growing up, like the phone would ring and it doesn't matter if it's a Democrat or Republican, independent. At the end of the day, my dad was elected to serve everyone. You know what I mean? Like he was the Republicans mayor, the Democrats mayor, the independents mayor, the Libertarians mayor. Like, and at the end of the day, he wanted to make our town a better place, right? So like you have to hear what other people are going through. And again, a lot of times like people start pointing fingers at one another and it's like, guys, like we're all on the same page. Like we want the best for our family, right? Like maybe we should look at like other people. Like maybe we should look at people in power that are, you know, voting against all of us together. Like we have a lot more in common than we probably have like differences.
Yeah. I think that's also important too, because like I specifically about the politics thing, like I used to think if you were voting like for any candidate that wasn't Democrat, I'm like, you're voting against gay rights. Like you're voting against women's health care. And it's like, I'm not saying this is a good thing, but I think it's important to realize this. Just because somebody doesn't vote for a candidate in that party doesn't mean that's the reason that they're voting for the other person. People vote on economics. People vote on foreign policy. These are things that maybe weren't as important to me because I'm a woman. I have gay friends. Like I have female friends that needed an abortion or need to access healthcare at some point in their life. So that's what comes to my mind first.
Mm-hmm.
But just because someone else has a different reason come to their mind first doesn't mean they're a bad person. Maybe they just need to have a conversation to broaden their horizons. And maybe I do too.
I know. It's hard too because there are a lot of people that are like single issue voters. Like
yes.
people that are like devout Catholics and it's like abortion is it. Like I will never, like they will not change that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, at the end of the day, like you're not going to change their mind. It's not worth the bickering. It's like they could vote for who they want to vote for. At the end of the day, I can vote for who I want to vote for. We live in a democracy for a reason. And that's kind of where you have to leave it. And like certain topics just can't be touched with people like that because they're not going to be swayed either way. You know what I mean? Conversations are important to be had, but at the end of the day, people are entitled to feel the way that they want to feel.
Yeah.
Which
that's
is tough.
A good point.
They don't have to feel the way that you do, but I don't know. Am I the asshole?
Hell no.
We like totally changed our topic here.
Yeah. Wow. That's okay though. I feel like we never talk about stuff like this.
That was pretty deep.
Yeah, I know. I liked it though. That was a real like deep look into us. I love that line that you said about not changing yourself but discovering new parts of yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's such a good way to describe.
Put it on a canvas.
Yes. I should just like put it in neon lights above.
Yeah, right.
Discover yourself. Ding. I love it.
Always learning and growing.
I know. Should we do like 2 more? Okay, let's do this one. I don't know how to answer this situation, so maybe you can help. Am I the asshole for not inviting my poorer relatives to my wedding for a good reason? I am getting married in June. I sent out my invitations in January to give everyone time to RSVP. We are having a destination wedding at a great resort in the Dominican Republic. Our invitations were expensive, and we thought it was a good place to economize if we only sent invitations to people who could afford to come. Right now, my mom says that she is very disappointed with me. I've upset so many people. My mom says that I was rude to judge people by their income. I didn't judge anyone. I just picked the people I thought could afford to go. Am I the asshole?
Yeah. Yep. And guess what? If you are so making ends meet and cheap that you can't pay the extra $100 or whatever it would be to invite everyone, you know, that you care about, that you would maybe want there, obviously, like they're upset, like they're close to you, then like, yeah, you're the asshole. Shit. Oh my God.
I was gonna say, I don't think it's wrong to have a destination. I know like a lot of people are like, I want to have a destination wedding because that way I can invite whoever I want to come, but I know people that don't care about me won't come, and then I won't have to pay for them because like if you don't care about me, my extended family members, they're not going to fly somewhere, but they might go to the local country club. So like I get that, but it's like she picked and chose who to invite based off if she thinks they would be able to fly there and afford it.
Yeah, no. I think her outlook on like what a wedding is, you know, maybe is a little not as down to earth.
I was wondering though, this sparked another question in me.
Okay.
Is it an asshole move to have a destination wedding and only invite a certain amount of people? Like only invite people you actually want to go? Because obviously for the most part, when people have a wedding, they invite everyone in their extended family because that's the polite thing to do, even if they're not super close to like the distant uncle or the distant cousin.
Right.
So I'm like, is it okay to have a wedding and just not invite those people, or is that rude? Like I don't know the answer to that.
I think it is okay. I mean, that's the whole idea around like eloping, which technically I guess this is kind of like eloping a little bit, like not fully, but like you are going, once you're doing a destination wedding, you're doing that because you want a smaller one. Like Rebecca was just in Italy.
Yeah.
Or she's going to Italy for like a destination wedding, but it's like a very small wedding. It's like one of her childhood best friends, right?
Yeah.
I feel like you're having that wedding because you want it to be smaller.
Yeah. Or
and
like
at the end of the day, people have to respect that.
Yeah. And like you just know that it's going to be smaller. Like not everyone can afford or wants to pay to fly across the world.
Yeah, but still, like you don't know what's in people's bank accounts. Like you can't just be like, oh, you're poor. Yeah. You're not going to get on that flight.
That's why I was wondering about this situation, because I'm like, how did the people know the reason? Yeah. Or did they think that they just weren't invited?
Right.
Because if they thought they just weren't invited, that's where I was thinking, like, aren't you just allowed to have a smaller wedding where you don't invite everyone and their mom? Like, it's not like she sent out an email and she was like, anyone who can't afford it will not receive an invite.
Yeah.
It's like, how did they even know the reason?
She's digging herself a grave. Girl, you should have just been like, I want a small wedding.
Yeah.
Like, I'm only inviting X amount of people. I'm sorry. I would love to have you all there.
Yeah.
But I want a small wedding. You know, blame your husband. Blame your husband. Blame the guy you're marrying. Be like, he doesn't want more than 30 people.
Lie to them.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. That's what I would do.
Oh, maybe though the family talked and they're like, I don't know. I just think that if my extended family, there's a lot of us, and if half the people got an invitation and I analyzed which half, I mean, everyone's kind of just in the same like financial boat, but I'm sure there are families that have like people on both ends of the spectrum. I feel like it would be obvious. It's like, oh, anyone that lives in a big house got an invite.
Right.
And then we live a more frugal life and we didn't get an invite.
Yeah.
So maybe it is obvious why.
Yeah, it probably is.
I think what the girl did was really dumb. Like, I don't think she had bad intentions. Like, in her mind, she's like, oh, well, they're not going to be able to come anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm just not even going to send them an invitation. In her mind, that's where it ended.
Mm-hmm.
But I think she was just dumb in the sense that she didn't understand that that would hurt people. And it's like, let's think before we act.
Yeah, I think too that like weddings in general and like the sanctity of marriage and what a wedding is has changed with our generation a lot more. Because I think like this reminds me, my friend got married in the fall and her mother was upset with her that she didn't send out save the dates.
Okay.
She didn't send save the dates out. And she was like, listen, like everyone that I really care about being at this wedding knows what day the wedding is. I told them over a year ago. They know. And her mom was like, but what about grandma's like friends like that you're inviting? And she was like, well, like they're grandma's friends. You know, I don't know. And if it's really that big of a deal, like, you know what I mean? Like the people that I really want there already know.
Yeah.
I think that kind of goes along with it too, because I don't know. I just feel like back in the day, it was such a formality. Like every cousin, every distant cousin. When do you see your distant cousins? You see them at the funerals and at the weddings. Like that's what it was like. And that's not it anymore. Where I feel like our generation is kind of like, well, why? Like, why am I going to invite them to my wedding? Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Or in this case, like, I don't know.
Totally.
But so I just think, you know, marriages and weddings in general have just changed.
Yeah. Totally.
And I feel like a lot of times it's kind of like the older relatives that are like, and it's like,
no, that's so true. And like, I'll say like in my life, I do have like distant relatives that I really never see. And like, of course I'm going to invite them to my wedding, but if they chose to not go, like I honestly wouldn't be offended. I don't know. Like we never see each other.
Right.
Like I have cousins that I'm like, or like second cousins, whatever, that I'm like, I literally never see you. So if you chose to not come to my wedding, like I'm not going to be upset.
Yeah. And it's hard for me because like my outlook on it is like, well, did they meet who I'm marrying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if they haven't met who you're marrying, then it's like, they're going to meet at our wedding. Like,
yes.
I don't know. That's just my look on it. But I think in this case, the way she's saying it is a little like classist. Like,
yes.
Don't do that. Like,
definitely.
Yeah. And again, you're being frugal yourself. If you're worried about the invitations, like how many more people would it be? You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's so true.
Yeah. And don't have a wedding that you can't afford. Thing.
Okay, let's do one more. About a wedding date. This is, wow, the transitions on this episode are top notch. Am I the asshole for not moving my wedding date? My fiancé and I recently got engaged, and when looking at dates, we realized our anniversary falls on a Saturday this year. Perfect, right? We immediately start planning because it's approximately 9 months out and we have to move quick to pull together a wedding. We told everyone the potential date this weekend and all seemed well. Monday, I get a phone call from my father. He insists that I move the date because my mother has a yoga retreat that weekend. I tell him that this date means a lot and I would prefer to keep it if there is any way to move the retreat. There is, but it's expensive. I offer to pay for this change out of my wedding budget, essentially halving the amount that I can spend on the most important event of my life. Damn, how much is this yoga retreat?
Yeah.
Yesterday, I was told that they would not be taking my offer to pay to move the retreat and that we're expected to move the wedding instead. I haven't put money on my venue yet, so they think I should be fine with giving up the chance to marry on a date that means a lot to me. It became a massive fight, and now my parents and I aren't speaking. My father accused me of caring about a date more than I care about my mother. I told him that it felt as though they were choosing yoga over their own daughter.
It does kind of feel like that.
Wow. Yeah, it's almost like if your parents booked a vacation and then you were like, I'm going to get married on this date. Should they cancel the vacation?
Yeah, and I feel like the yoga retreat, like, is it like that? It needs to be this day.
Yeah. And if it's 9 months away, like, I feel like that gives you a lot of time to, like, replan. But then also, is the daughter, like, entitled to think that everyone should change their plans to come to something for me?
And they're very clearly planning this very far ahead, the yoga.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, and I feel like typically people do have a lot of notice for weddings.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, yeah, it's interesting that the yoga retreat is that far ahead. That's a long time to plan a trip like that.
Yeah, it seems like it must be very involved.
Yeah, very important to
and
them.
like to be cutting their wedding budget in half, like it's worthy of a lot of money. I don't know though.
That's hard.
It's hard for me to think about because like I don't think that and again, I got to remove myself from this. Like, I don't think I'd give a shit about the date. I'm like, okay. Like, at the end of the day, like, you're spending the rest of your life together, like, one day.
That's true.
Does it really have to be that date? But, I don't know.
I had friends that were trying to do the same thing. They had dated for a long time, and then their dating anniversary fell on a Saturday, and they were like, oh, my God. But then it didn't work out. I forget the reason, and they got over it so quickly. They were like, yeah, it would have been nice, but, like, it doesn't really matter.
Right, like, at the end of the day, is it, like, you know, but again, same thing could go about, like, the yoga retreat, like.
Yeah, totally.
What, are you doing yoga on, like, gold plates or something?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
And it's, like, just because it doesn't matter to me, like, I don't know. Last time I was in a relationship, we didn't even have that. Like, we didn't have a day where we were like, oh, it's our anniversary.
Yeah. I know,
I've
but I
never
do
had
know
that.
some people like really like are like stuck on that part and I'm like, oh, okay, that's your thing.
Yeah. So I guess like it does matter to some people, so I don't want to hate on her for caring about it, but yeah, I do kind of think that it is a little bit rude to expect other people to change their plans. Like, it would be one thing if it was like a friend and they were like, oh, I'm going to a party that day. But like, it's your parents. Like, wouldn't your parents be the first people you ask? Like, if you're really that close with them, you're like, okay, I'm thinking this date. Any conflicts? And then when your parents said, yeah, I do have a conflict, you're just going to assume that they should change it. And if they don't change their conflict, like, they're an asshole.
Right.
I don't know. I think that my parents would change their conflict. Like, I feel like my parents would be like, yeah, that's really fucking annoying, but like, I guess we'll change for you.
Right. It's like the most important day of our daughter's life, like whatever.
And then when they did change, I think they would then forget about the trip and they would forget that it ever happened once you get into like the mindset of planning the wedding.
Right.
So I can see where OP's coming from in asking them that. I don't know. I think they're both being really dramatic.
Yeah, me too. I think like both sides are like, really?
Yeah. I think if my daughter came to me and was like, look, I'm paying for my whole wedding. I don't have that much money to spend on it. If you really want me to cover the cost of you skipping the trip, I will. But this is what's happening. I would be like, okay, fine. It's going to annoy me for a week and then I'll get over it. Like, I don't know. It's like, it's a yoga retreat. Is it really a once in a lifetime thing?
Yeah. And I'm like, is the mom planning the yoga retreat? Like, is she running it?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like they
Like,
would have
that's
said
the part
that.
that I
Like,
don't
if that was
get.
their business, I feel like they would have said that.
And girl, if you're like that worried about the money for this yoga retreat, you're probably getting full on scammed by this yoga person. Like, if it's costing that much, that it's half the wedding budget.
Half the wedding budget? Like, weddings are
Because even
not
if you're going to do a
cheap.
small wedding,
It's
a
still
small
30,000.
wedding. Well, yeah, not even like, even if you're going to do like a backyard wedding, that's like not, you know, like it's at least 10 grand. Like you're at least 10 grand.
I would think
and that
that's
is like,
more.
Yeah,
even
like
for a
15,
backyard
20.
wedding.
Yeah. That's
Weddings
what I mean.
are
Like,
so expensive.
so that's why I'm wondering if like the mom was planning this retreat and it was like making money off of planning the retreat, where she's like, now I have to cancel for these people. I don't know. Any clarifications on that or?
Top comment is, your parents are prioritizing a yoga retreat over your wedding. They 100% are. Have the wedding without them, not the asshole. You'd think if they did yoga, they'd be more flexible.
Yeah, where's that zen? Yeah, zen it, baby. Like, what?
Yeah, I feel like it's a yoga retreat. It's not like it's a once in a lifetime experience where, like, I don't know, where like the planet, like, you know how there was like an eclipse a few years ago? And it's like, it will happen once in 1,000 years or 100 years or something. Like, you can only see the lunar eclipse from like this part of like Morocco, and it will be the only time in your life. And she dreamed her whole life about seeing it. Like, okay. If we're talking like a yoga retreat in Costa Rica, there's 1,000 yoga retreat companies just in Costa Rica, and they have a retreat every day of the year.
Yeah, you know, and if mom is so like steadfast on this, like maybe she needs that.
The
like,
yoga retreat.
Yeah, or maybe she needs some meds. I don't know. Like,
she should probably go on a yoga retreat sooner
like,
than
yeah,
9
like
months.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Like maybe pay for her to go on an earlier yoga retreat and just be
Yes.
like, Mom, you need this.
You need it.
Yeah.
Someone said, not the asshole. And the next time your parents invite you to something, tell them namaste at home.
Ooh.
Wow, these people are really hitting with
Ding
the
dong.
good jokes. Someone said, how much is it to move the yoga retreat? Either you are having an incredibly cost-friendly wedding, or that yoga retreat is an absolute scam.
Yeah, right? That's what I'm saying. It's like a timeshare or something.
Yeah.
Like,
OP said, my budget is pretty small in the first place, which is why I haven't put any money into a venue. I was in talks for a free venue that day. A free venue? Oh my God, then the parents are even more of an asshole.
yeah, for real.
If she can get a free venue?
Take that free venue.
Yeah, that's worth tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, venue alone.
Yeah. If your mother puts a yoga retreat over your, I feel like I'm saying yoga wrong now. Like I've said it so many times that I'm like, is that a word?
A yogurt?
Yoga retreat? If your mom puts a yoga retreat over your wedding date, then that's on her. It would be different if you decided to get married this weekend, not 9 months out. I get that it's inconvenient and possibly an expensive schedule conflict, but the odds of you getting a date on the calendar that works for everyone is basically zero. That's a great point, too.
That is. At the end of the day, it's your wedding, too.
Yeah. So. I'm already worried about that with friends' weddings, like people booking their wedding on the same day. Because I have 2 friends that are getting married in fall of 2024, and one of them picked the date, and the others are just starting to plan. I'm like, if they get married on the same day, that's just going to be really sad for me.
Yeah, that's hard. I haven't had to like worry about that yet, but...
Yeah. I think you're not the asshole.
Nope. Hit it.
Yup.
One more time for good measure.
Wow. Damn, we were all over the place.
As usual.
Yeah, I loved it. Okay, can we please do the lawyer question episode or video?
I'm in.
Yes. Okay, maybe it'll be a bonus episode or something.
Yeah, I'm going to have to bring like my smarts that day or something.
Yes.
Like I got to be on it.
Wait, we should like set up a desk or something. We don't even have to film it here. We could film it like, I don't know, anywhere. We have to look smart though. Oh my God, we can dress
should wear
business.
Glasses.
Yes, I was just thinking that. And we can dress business casual.
Yeah, I'm talking about people not being motivated. I'm like thinking I'll go pick up my suit that I dropped off at the dry cleaner in October.
Oh my God, wait.
It's now March.
Can we? I didn't even
I'm hoping it's there.
I thought that was a joke.
No, I hope it's there.
Yeah, you should probably.
And I just bought the suit. Like I wore it once.
You should probably pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna give it away. They're gonna sell it at a discounted rate.
God.
Yeah, go get it.
I got it for a deal.
Go get it before it hits 6 months, because I feel like after 6 months, like October to April is 6 months. So.
Am I the asshole?
No, you're not the asshole.
Keep forgetting.
What if they charge you like $1 or like $5 a day extra, and now you have to pay like $500?
At that point, I'd be like,
keep it.
Yep. I'll go get myself a nice suit.
Can we do a full photo shoot in the suits?
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is.
Oh, we could
so
take
fun.
headshots. Let's double it.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is such a great idea. Oh my God, I can't wait. I have to get
Stay
like
tuned.
really thick glasses that I can like
I need
with.
like Harry Potter ones or something that I could like sexy librarian.
Yes. With the blazer, and then you could like unbutton the top button under it.
Oh yeah.
And be like, oh my God, caption, my girl's a lawyer. Oh my God. We have to do this. Can we do this next week?
Yeah.
I can't wait. Yay! Okay, guys, I hope you liked our episode. It was so fun.
Yes.
Wow, I'm kind of like nervous about all the deeper stuff we talked about, because I'm like, we haven't revealed like too much about our like deeper
we're showing our cards a lot.
Yeah, I hope we're accepted.
Maybe someone will slide in the DMs that loves snowboarding, and that'll make me a Spotify playlist.
Oh my God.
Even
so
though I'm
true.
private, I could approve a DM. Boys, I don't know why you're waiting.
One of my favorite TikTokers is this guy named Brett, and he made this video and he goes, one thing that I'm like really proud about all my past hookups I'm like really proud of them, is that they just consistently never reach out to me. Like they're like, he's like, they hold their ground. They just are doing them, and I am proud of them. Like not one of them has ever texted me again. And I was like, that is so true.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. There's like certain people I'm like, can you just be toxic? Like, can you just fucking text me? Like, be toxic for 5 minutes.
No,
like, I just want to talk to you.
You don't want that.
I know. I'm like, I'm sad about it, but
maybe
I'm like, no,
like
that's
one
actually.
or two texts.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, so we're just never gonna talk again. You're just never gonna slide back into my life. Okay, whatever. I'm so proud that you respect yourself.
Like, yeah, and like respect me.
Yeah, and then it's the ones
choice.
that I don't want that like come back and like slide into my text with like a song, a link to a Spotify song. I'm like, we haven't talked in 8 months. Just like don't delete my number. Like, let's be done.
Yeah, or like a text the size of like an encyclopedia. Like, fucking stop.
I know. And then like when you don't answer, it like comes again. And they're just like, I just can't believe this. And you're like, what? All of this and for what? Like, get over it.
Therapy. Right? That's where it goes back to that. Like, talk to someone about that.
Yes.
Boys.
Facts. Okay, stay tuned for our legal analysis, bar question, test prep video.
Thanks for hanging with us today.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
We love you. We appreciate you. And I'll see you in the next one.
Namaste.
Bye. Namaste.